carrying walking around this morning, I've met Nils Jamieson, who is the Regional Safety Officer for GASCo, the flight safety people, and they've got a safety challenge here where you have to go around looking at, well, I believe different mistakes. Perhaps I'll better let Nils explain exactly what is going on at the moment.
Yeah, so before anybody flies anything, they obviously need to do some kind of a pre-flight inspection of whatever their aircraft is. So we set an aircraft up here, and it varies depending on the event that we're doing. But we've got an LAA type here. It's actually my own aircraft, and we set up a load of defects on it. I think we've got 7 or 8 that we've done deliberately, and it might be defects with the aircraft, so something missing an inspection cover or something like that, or we might have something that you find that you wouldn't want to go flying with. So we've hidden a water bottle in behind the rudder pedals, for instance, just to get people talking about foreign objects floating around the cockpit and that kind of thing. So we invite people to do a pre-flight inspection as they normally would, and it's a chance for them to see how well they would do normally, perhaps on an aircraft they don't normally see, but maybe on one they're familiar with alternatively. And it's a chance for us to have a chat to them about flight safety in general, so things that they've missed. Certainly at this event, I think the record is somebody found 25 faults on the aeroplane, even though we only set up 7. So.
I was going to say, that's interesting, isn't it? Because is it quite a sort of perception or individual thing? I mean, what one person might think, I wouldn't fly with that, somebody else might.
Absolutely, and it's quite interesting actually. It's interesting for us to talk to those people about how they view things. There was a chap we talked to on Friday who was very interesting, and he talked about things that he thought were a threat. Right. So anything that, it might not be wrong now, but anything he thought may vibrate loose or was just something that he was going to catch his fingers on or something like that, he looked at it in that kind of detail. So not necessarily things that were going to cause him a problem flying on the next flight, but he also looked at longer term and with an engineering eye as well as a pilot's eye. So it's quite interesting talking to people like that.
And you've had obviously a lot of uptake by the looks of it. There's been a lot of people around here this weekend.
It's quite weather dependent, but yeah, certainly when the sun comes out, it gets quite busy here. And if we can find a slightly more unusual aeroplane, then people just like to have a good poke around anyway, don't they? So yeah, it's been quite busy this weekend. It's good.
Usually in the winter, you do GASCo flight evenings. You go around all the different struts and flying clubs, don't you? Giving people instruction. Perhaps you can explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there's now a team of 7 of us. We're all volunteers, and we work for GASCo, which is a charity. It's been going since 1964, but we've been doing what used to be the CAA safety evenings for the last, I think, 4 or 5, might even be year 5 by now, I think. And we aim to visit as many clubs and flying groups as we possibly can between October and April. We do a 2-hour presentation with a break in the middle, and we talk about all kinds of flight safety. So it doesn't matter whether you're gliding, microlighting, paramotoring, whatever it is that you get airborne in, we'll have something in there for you to make you think about how you fly. We try and make it entertaining, so it's not a preachy, boring evening by any stretch. There's a lot of participation in there as well, and we try and get people just to have a think about, usually for the next flying season when the weather gets better, what can they do to improve their flying, what can they do to make themselves safer, or what are the things that they're doing now that are good that they want to keep on doing.
Yeah, I must admit it has been very good. We had one down at our strut last year, and it was about, I'm not the pilot myself, but it was passengers, for instance, what they might look out for. When we go flying, if we go across water, life rafts, PLBs, jackets, etc. It's not just for pilots, it's also for passengers too.
Absolutely, very much so. Actually, in the last couple of years in particular, we've had an emphasis on not just pilots, but the passengers are very important, and also people like engineers, ground staff, air traffic controllers, anybody who's connected with aircraft in any way, whether they're sitting in them or controlling them or doing anything with them. Yeah, it's all those little things that, you know, you see something that the other person hasn't seen, but you're not a pilot, but is it worth saying something? You know, we've answered quite a lot of questions for people that way. So we're trying to include everybody.